Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to our Unit 2 review. Now, if you remember the Unit 1 review, what this meant was that this was a much longer video with a lot to cover. But remember, there's nothing for you to do in your math journal. So you will need your notebook right next to you because you will be finding a lot of these answers as we go. I'm going to review a little bit with you, but you're going to be doing most of the work during this video here. Okay, so we start off, as you can see, with area, right? Now, is area the inside or the outside? Area is the inside. Perimeter is the outside, right? If we wanted to find the perimeter of this, we would do 9 plus 5 plus 9 plus 5, and we would go around the outside of the shape. This is the perimeter around here. The area is the middle. What do we do to find the area? We multiply the length times the width. So the width here is, excuse me, the length is 9, the width is 5. So what is the area? What is the area? The area is 45 square inches, right? Or 45 inches squared. We could write it like this, 45 inches, and then this little 2 right here means squared. So that is area, right? How did you find the area? Well, we just talked about it, right? We multiplied the length times the width. All right, minutes and seconds. Same with hours and minutes. How many minutes, excuse me, how many seconds are in a minute? 60 seconds. Same with minutes to hours. There are 60 minutes in an hour. So as we uh, can transfer these, we can multiply all of these times 60. Whenever you have time, you can do times 60. So I'll do the first one here. Let's see, 1 times 60 is 60. 3 times 60 is 180. What's this next one? What's 8 times 60? Times 60 is 480. And if you missed that one because you didn't know your multiplication fact, practice, practice, practice. This is one of the most missed multiplication facts. 8 times 6 equals 48. I don't have a good trick to remember that one other than to just practice it a lot. What's the last one? 10 times 60. Okay, should have said 600. You wouldn't want to have an answer less than 600. Couldn't, if you had an answer less than 600, that wouldn't make sense because the 8 was 480. So we cross off both zeros. 1 times 6 is 6. And since we crossed off 2 zeros, we had to put 2 zeros back. So let's do this one. Explain for me, how did you find how many seconds were in 8 minutes? What did you do for the third one? You should have written that you multiplied 8 times 60. All right, let's keep going. On our second page, arrays. All right, so when we were looking at arrays, we were mostly doing arrays for the number for square numbers, but we can do them for other numbers as well, right? And really, I might not have time to draw all the X's here because this would be a lot, but this is really about thinking about the factors of 24, which is what we have down here. So I'm going to actually slide down here, the factors of 24. So what would we start with if we were finding the factors of 24? What would the first factor pair be? 1 and 24, right? 1 and 24. You guys know how to do this, right? 2. What about 2? Does 2 work? Yes. 2 and what? What does 2 go with? 2 times 12. Now, threes. I've been singing you the 3 song a lot. If we sing the 3 song, do we say 24? We sure do, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and 27, 30, and we're done, right? 3 times 8 equals 24. What about 4? Yep, 4 works also. 4 times what? 4 times what equals 24? 4 times 6. Does 5 work? No. Oops, I almost wrote a 5 there because we were writing all the numbers. 4 times 6 works. 5 doesn't work. 6 works, but it's already on the list. So here's our factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. On tomorrow's test, you will be given a number, and you will have to find factors of that number. Multiples, remember when we had the multiplication chart, right? And all the numbers are here. We said these are the factors. This is like a times table. I know there's no numbers here. These are the factors, and these here are the multiples. And you've been counting multiples for so long, right? When you were in first grade, your teacher would say, let's count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. What they were actually doing is having you count multiples of 10. So you are going to count the first 10 multiples of 7. So we would start with 7, 14. What would be next? 21, 28, right? This is 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, 7 times 4. What would, and we've got 35 here. What goes here? Did you say 42? 42 goes here. 49, this is our square number. I'm going to put a square around it. 7 times 7 equals 49. 56 is 7 times 8. 7 times 9 would be next. What's 7 times 9? 63 and 70, right? All we did here was count. If we said count multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If we said sing the multiples of 3, you would sing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and 27, 30, and we're done. All right. Now, what's my rule? Let's see if we can figure this out. Oh, this isn't bad. Remember, the rule kind of goes in the middle here. And I like to actually write it there. I think it's easier to see. So on this first one, 3 times 8, see, once you have it written there, you can see it. Now, this does not mean on the second one, do 32 times 8. Nope. You have to do the opposite if you're going backwards, right? So this is like dividing 32 divided by 8. Or we could think something times 8 equals 32, and 4 fits here, right? All right, what should be in this space? 64. He ate and ate and got sick on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64. 12 times 8, if you know your 12 is great. If you don't, 10 times 8 is 80. And 2 times 8, because this is 12, right, equals 16. So if you put these together, 96 is the right answer. Okay. All right, symmetry, symmetry, symmetry. What is symmetry before we start here? What is symmetry? Symmetry means when something is identical on both sides. You might have mentioned that if you can fold it, it matches. And here is the rectangle. This is one that is often, often, often done incorrectly. Everybody usually gets this one, right? If you fold it here, well, that's kind of crooked. Let's try again. See if we can do better. A little better. If you fold it there, it will match. And if you fold it here, it will match. Now, people then like to tell me, well, you could fold it here and it will match. It will not. Okay. If you take a piece of paper, I have a piece of paper next to it. If you grab any sheet of paper and you try to fold it corner to corner, you will not be able to get it to match unless it's a square. But this, of course, is not a square. So this shape has 2 lines of symmetry. Right? Symmetry has to be folded to match. All right, number 7, circle any right angles. So what right angles do you see on number 7? Aha, trick question, right? There are no right angles on number 7. So if we were to ask, it says to write none. So we would write none here. Name two properties. It's properties, so like what's true? Two things that are true about this quadrilateral below. Well, one thing that I see is I see a right angle here and here. So I could say it has two right angles. Now I want you to tell me, is this a trapezoid or a parallelogram? Trapezoid or parallelogram? This is a trapezoid. Why is it a trapezoid? Look at the top, these sides, right? These sides are parallel. They will never ever cross. But look at these sides. They are eventually going to cross somewhere way out there. So this is a trapezoid. That's another thing that we could write in a sentence down there. All right, let's see where we're going next. Should you add or multiply to find the answer? All right. Savannah read for 20 minutes. Andy read 5 times as long. How long did Andy read? All right. Is this add or multiply? Okay, it is multiply. Why is it multiply? Okay, it is multiply because it talks about 5 times as long. Okay, now if we're going to do this, we would think, well, how much did Andy read more than Savannah or less? Because sometimes, right, this one's going to be 5 times 20. But sometimes you'll see something like this, like where the missing number will be in the middle, but that's not true on this one. And how do I know that? Because Andy read more. I can tell Andy read 5 times as long. So 5 times 20, cross off that 0. 5 times 2 is 10. And now I need to put that 0 back. 100 minutes. Wow. He was rocking. He must have had a really, really good book. Remember, sometimes it'll be an adding question. If it had said Andy read 5 minutes more than Savannah, then he would have read 25 minutes. But this one is done like that. Convert your answer to hours and minutes. Well, I know that 160 minutes is an hour. So I'm going to have 1 hour. And let's see, if I take 100 and I take out that hour, then 10 minus 6 is 40. See, I borrow like that. Okay, so 1 hour and 40 minutes is how long she read. All right, let's see what's next. Nothing's next. Nope, not Google Classroom. All right, so those are our skills that we have been working on in unit number 2. I know that you've had a lot to do. I've had a lot of questions to put here into this video, and that you've done a lot of work. The good thing is now you can go on to IXL. You don't have to. You have nothing to do in your math journal page today. All right, that's all, fourth graders. I'll see you next time. Good luck.